You know them already pretty much, but I'm gonna do it anyways. It's Riekelt. It's your boy. Hello, how are you doing?
Yo, Kaadzik. Hey, I'm doing really good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm doing pretty fine myself because I'm interviewing such a great person, and I hope you're gonna see exactly why I'm talking about that. Now, we're talking because in around 1.5 hours or 2 hours, roughly, your GTA San Andreas run is coming. I think at this point everyone knows this game, but what often goes over our heads is how hard, tricky, and mostly RNG dependent it is. Based on that, what segments of the run you feel the most or the least confident with?
Ooh. So about let's start with the least
Okay.
happy about. There are a few things in the run that are basically run enders. Some of them are well, the hardest thing of them all, dupes. Like duping missions is really important in San Andreas. However, it's not always as terrible, and in a marathon setting, it's not the worst if I fail them. Just I want to show a good run. But some other really awful things are somewhere in the middle of the run. I need to go over a bridge, an unconventional way because there are invisible walls everywhere. So I
Is
need
this
to
the
like
part when you have Caesar in the back of the
yeah
bike as well? Okay, I remember
yeah.
now.
I need to not touch the water, or technically the whole run is over. But again, it's salvageable. But in terms of stuff that I'm good at, actually the last half of the game, Las Venturas and Return to Los Santos. There are a few really cool missions and a few easy dupes that I can do.
Okay, I've personally found them pretty hard myself, even though I'm not running the game. But yeah, if you're saying it's easy, once we get there, then we're gonna see you in action, definitely. So now we know for sure where to look at during the run.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly,
and
after the bridge, that is 100% sure fire that I will finish the run.
I hope that the audience is gonna hold you accountable for that. We'll see, we'll see. But yeah, talking about other games that you run as well, I've been going through your speedrun.com profile and I've noticed some Mario games, Ape Escape, Untitled Goose Game. So the titles I could generally call family friendly. Now, I'm not the only person that really wants an answer to this question. GTA is a pretty big outlier here when it comes to these games. What made you pick it up as a speed game in the first place?
So honestly, I generally play games that I either find interesting to run or are childhood favorites. And I totally started playing GTA at the age of 18, like everyone else did.
Yeah,
Totally.
pretty much.
And they take relief 6 years. But yeah, I've played a lot of GTA like back in the day. And honestly, my whole speedrun tenure started with GTA San Andreas. I was following the scene back in 2015, back when any percent was a little bit lower than 6 hours. Shout out to Ning Kortek, who I was watching primarily. Uh, but I never dared to touch the run myself until 2019, where I was, you know what, let's try it. Then I initially started out with Los Santos. I thought, this game is fun, and then I fell into the hole of doing the whole no AJS run.
Yeah, I think that's a general trend that people start with Los Santos run and then figure out if it's good enough for them to run the rest of the game or not. And for you, I guess it was the first one, right?
Yeah, for sure. So to answer your question, there's not really a really good reason other than me liking the game that much.
Okay, so it's just a general childhood classic, and I think that's as well a general trend of people running GTA. I myself run Vice City just because of that reason as well. So yeah, I get you totally. Now, you're running other games during this marathon as well because GTA San Andreas is your first one, but you also have other ones. That's Part-Time UFO, Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light co-op, and Bugsnax Race. So 4 runs in total. Could you very briefly go through each of them and maybe advertise them a little bit to our audience?
Sure, I can definitely do that. So, Part-Time UFO. If you like Kirby, it's by the creators of Kirby, Hell Laboratories. And it's a little physics puzzle game where you swing things from left to right. However, some of the solutions to the puzzles are really, really odd looking. So if you want to see some fun and some sumo wrestlers crushing little babies, I'll see you tomorrow. Other than that, Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, it's a really good multiplayer co-op game. And not only that, it's also a really good speedrun. There's a lot of skips that happen in the run, just skipping like 10 minutes of going through a giant room if you can just clip through the wall, or some other Lara Croft things. I'll be doing that together with certainly someone here. They I don't know why we started speedrunning it other than we liked it. It's like half an hour long. It's not too terrible. And there's a lot of in-jokes as well. And then the last game I'm running is Bugsnax, which is a game that came out, I think, actually late last year when the PS5 got released.
Right.
So that game got a lot of inspiration from Ape Escape too. The whole Ape Escape franchise, as well as Pokemon, Digimon. And because I'm so heavily into the Ape Escape community, I kind of got dragged into Bugsnax like 2 weeks after the game came out. And I started with any percent. Then I basically introduced the no major skips category. Fortunately, I haven't played the game in so long, other than some any percent D-Rust for this race versus Conception, who is like a god console gamer, and I'm playing on PC. So I should have the upper edge, but is that enough to dethrone the gods? I don't know.
Well, now you've spiced up our appetite for not only for Bugsnax, but I think for all of these games. Like, it was a very good advertisement for sure. I cannot wait to watch them personally right now. Even though I didn't know a little bit about Lara Croft or UFO, right now I'm hooked. Let me tell you, I'm really hooked. And I hope the audience is as well. Now, you're not only the runner of this event, and probably most of the people watching right now know you from being the organizer and the main tech guy, right? So we all know that online marathons right now are a top thing because of the current situation in the world, and it can never replace the on-site experience. But I want to ask you a very cruel question. Strictly from the tech point of view, do you think that managing the marathon online is easier than in the person one?
It's mostly easier because I'm at my own workstation. Everything works the way I want it to. So if something needs to be fixed, it can happen very fast. Whereas on site, it's such a different kind of computer that's not suited for development and whatnot. So I would definitely say that it's very much easier to make an online marathon than an on-site marathon. However, I wouldn't. Obviously, I want to go back on site.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to come back on site, let's be honest. Whenever there is a possibility, we're going to try our best to get there. But online marathons, I think, have some advantages over on-site ones. For example, bringing all the other people from outside the world that wouldn't be able to get there on site. Or the fact that, as you said, the tech is a little bit easier than on-site. That's also an upside as well. But of course, the on-site experience is something that can never be replaced, in my opinion. So do you have any final words for our great viewers before we wrap up this interview, before the Harry Potter run and then GTA SA run, of course?
I have one thing to say to chat. If you want to see the world-famous Big Smoke order, there is a donation incentive for that. I think it's missing about 150 euros. Definitely get that mat. Actually, 100 euros. Get it mat, and we'll get a few number 9s and a large number 9, and I'm not going to quote it. If you want to see me quote it, get your money in.
Pay up for that. We're not going to quote it for you. You know the deal. You can do it. It's an amazing cause as well, because BSG Annual 2021 raises money for Mind, a very great charity organization. So that's been it for me and from Riekelt. Thank you so much for being here and for agreeing to this interview. It was a blast. I definitely can't wait for all the runs that you're doing. And thank you for all the cold and hot takes that you brought us today. And see ya in the next couple of hours with GTA San Andreas. And from me, that's it for now. See you later.